This conference will now be recorded.
Hello students. Now we are doing the previous year question paper solving of chapter 2 biological classification. So we know that in this chapter we need to learn about five kingdom classification and the important features of this classification, on what basis they have done this classification, and why five kingdom classification is most accepted one. So all this we are learning in this chapter. And not only that, among these five kingdoms we are learning about protista, fungi, monera, all these main kingdoms in this chapter. And the other two kingdoms, plant kingdom and animal kingdom, we are learning in different chapter. Then about lichens, virus and viroids also we are learning in this chapter. So already we have solved few questions. So now we are moving to the remaining questions. So let's move to the first question of this part. See, some hyperthermophilic organism that grow in highly acidic habitat belongs to the group called, here four options are there, eubacteria and archaea. Then the second option is cyanobacteria and diatoms. Third option, protista and mosses. So fourth option, liverworts and yeast. So these are the four given options. And see here itself, if you are getting such options, here itself you can learn. At least you are getting 3 4 important topics of this chapter. So here you can learn what is eubacteria and archaea. Just go through the main points: cyanobacteria and diatoms, protista and mosses, liverworts and yeast. So just go through all these topics if you are getting such options, so that if any questions come after this also, you will be finding it very easy to answer. Okay, so that's how you need to learn. So for answering this question, first, the option here, the correct option, see, hyperthermophilic organism. What do you mean by that hyperthermophilic organism? They have, see, we have learned about hyperthermophilic organism. So their membrane, these organisms have a membrane which is resistant to all kind of adverse conditions. So this membrane can resist adverse environmental condition. Okay, so hyperthermophilic organisms have a membrane which can resist the adverse environmental condition, so they can survive in high temperature. Okay, so they can survive in high temperature. And here we said eubacteria, archaebacteria and all. So these organisms, this eubacteria, archaebacteria and all also can survive in the low pH. Okay, low pH means, pH is low means, what do you mean by that? Highly acidic condition. Which one? pH high. If it is above 7, pH is above 7 means it is a basic condition, right? And pH is below 7, and if it is very low pH means it will be highly acidic. So here archaebacteria and eubacteria, they can survive in the low pH also. pH is low means acidic condition. So they can live in acidic habitat also. So here the right option is A. Option A, hyperthermophilic organism. they can resist adverse environmental condition, they can survive in high temperature, and they can survive in low pH condition because they have a membrane which can resist the adverse environmental conditions. Okay, and next question is, now we are moving to the next question. In the light of recent classification of living organisms into three domains of life, which are they? Bacteria, archaea, and eukarya. Which one of the following statement is true about archaea? About archaea, which is the true statement? First statement is archaea resemble eukarya in all respect. Archaea have some novel features that are absent in other prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Then archaea completely differ from both prokaryotes and eukaryotes. And the fourth option they have given, that is archaea completely differ from prokaryotes. So in this, among these four statements, which statement is true about archaea? That's the question. So here in this question, statement B, that is true about archaea. What is statement B? Archaea have some novel features that are absent in other prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Why we are saying this statement is correct? Because here you see the other statements. See, archaea is not completely different from the prokaryotic and eukaryotic organism. See here the option C, they have given archaea completely differ from both prokaryote and eukaryote. So that's not correct. Archaea is not completely different from prokaryotic and eukaryotic organisms. It's not completely different. Okay. It's not completely different. So we can say that statement is wrong. And it resembles eukarya because both have several metabolic pathways. And that group contains methanogens and that can produce methane gas also. And the DNA which is present in a released state, or we can say like it is positively coiled. Okay, so it is in a released state, or we can say that it is in a positively coiled stage. That is one important point which you can learn. DNA that is in a positively coiled stage. Okay, so archaea is not completely different from prokaryote and eukaryotic organism, and that resembles eukarya because both are having several metabolic pathways. Both are possessing several metabolic pathways, and these groups, they have or they contain methanogens and that can produce methane gases. Which one? Archaea group. Okay, and the DNA which is present, that is in a positively coiled stage. So these are the features of which one? Archaea. So here, which statement is true about archaea? B, statement B. Next is question number 32. Here in this one, question number 32. Membrane bound organelles are absent in here four options are there. Saccharomyces, option B streptococcus, option C chlamydomonas, and option D plasmodium. So to write this answer, actually the membrane bound organelles are absent in streptococcus. Okay, so option B is the right answer, streptococcus. How we can tell that in streptococcus membrane bound organelles are absent? They are prokaryotes. Streptococcus, they are coming under prokaryotes. And we know that in prokaryotes, membrane bound organelles, which are the membrane bound organelles like mitochondria, then endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, all these are absent. And what about the others? Saccharomyces, Chlamydomonas, Plasmodium, all these are eukaryotes. All other, which are Saccharomyces, Chlamydomonas, and Plasmodium, all are eukaryotes. They are belonging to others eukaryotes. So they are belonging to eukaryotes, and eukaryotes have membrane bound organelles. Okay, that's how you should learn. If you're getting 4 options, you should learn that Streptococcus, which is belonging to prokaryote, and that is not having membrane bound organelles like mitochondria, Golgi apparatus, endoplasmic reticulum, and all. And Plasmodium, Saccharomyces, Chlamydomonas, all these are eukaryotes, and eukaryotes have membrane bound organelles. Clear? If you are getting 4 options, don't leave the other 3 wrong options. You have to learn few points about the wrong options also. About wrong option, you find out the features. Okay, why that statement is incorrect about the other 3 options, that also you need to learn. So question number 33. Next question, we are moving to question number 33. Here, select the correct combination of statement regarding the characteristic of a certain organism. Methanogens are, first option, methanogens are archaebacteria which produce methane in marshy areas. First statement. Okay, second statement is nostoc is a filamentous blue-green algae which fixes atmospheric nitrogen. That is the second option. And third option they have given, chemosynthetic autotrophic bacteria synthesize cellulose from glucose. And fourth option is mycoplasma lack a cell wall and that can survive without oxygen. In this, maybe one option or first statement or second statement, third statement or fourth statement, any one option may be correct, or one may be correct statement, or two of them may be correct, or three of them may be correct. So like that, you need to read all statements before going to one option. See here, you can see 1 and 2, 1 2 3, then 2 3 and 4. So like that, you are getting the options. So you have to read all. Just simply reading by the first option, don't go to the conclusion. Okay, so here in question number 33, here while reading, chemosynthetic autotrophic bacteria synthesize cellulose from glucose. So this option, this is an incorrect statement. And here the first statement, methanogens are archaebacteria which produces methane in marshy areas. That first statement is correct, right? And the second one, nostoc, that is a filamentous blue-green algae which fixes atmospheric nitrogen. Second statement is also right. And the third option, chemosynthetic autotrophic bacteria synthesize cellulose from glucose. No. Here, this is an incorrect statement. And how we can correct it? Chemosynthetic autotrophic bacteria oxidizes. Here they are saying they are synthesizing cellulose from glucose. But that oxidizes, chemosynthetic autotrophic bacteria oxidize various inorganic substances. Okay, that oxidize inorganic substances. Inorganic substances in the sense like nitrates, and ammonia, and they use the released energy for their ATP production. For that, they will oxidize and they will release energy, and this is utilized for ATP production. Okay, So they play a very important role in recycling nutrients like phosphorus, iron, sulfur, nitrogen, and all. So here that statement, which is the incorrect statement, third statement, chemosynthetic autotrophic bacteria synthesize cellulose from glucose. That is a wrong statement. Okay, and this statement we can correct. What is the statement in that? How we can correct that third statement? Chemosynthetic autotrophic bacteria oxidizes inorganic substances like ammonia, nitrite, and they will release energy, and this energy is getting utilized for their ATP production, and in uh, recycling they are playing a great role. Recycling of this nutrients like phosphorus, iron, and all, they are playing great role. Which one? Chemosynthetic autotrophic bacteria. So here the right answer is first option is correct, second statement is also correct, third statement is wrong, fourth statement is correct. So here the option D, here you can see first, second, and fourth. So option D is the right statement, right answer. Okay. Now we are moving to question number 34. Here question number 34. Let's see. 34th question is Thermococcus, Methanococcus, and Methanobacterium exemplify. First option, archaebacteria that contain protein homologous to eukaryotic core histones. So that um, contain protein homologous to eukaryotic core histones. And second option, archaebacteria that lack any histone resembling those found in the eukaryotes, but whose DNA is negatively supercoiled. Okay. And third option they have given, bacteria whose DNA is relaxed or positively supercoiled, but which have a cytoskeleton as well as mitochondria. Fourth option, bacteria that contain a cytoskeleton and ribosome. So Thermococcus, Methanococcus, and Methanobacterium. In this, you have to find out the right statement. So Thermococcus, Methanococcus, and Methanobacterium, they are archae. They are belonging to archaea. Okay, and their histones are shorter than eukaryotic histones. Histones are shorter than eukaryotic histones. Okay, and how these are assembled? They are assembled in tetrameres. Okay, so these are the main points. Thermococcus, Methanococcus, and Methanobacterium are belonging to archaea, and their histones are shorter than eukaryotic histones, and they are assembled in tetrameres. So here, which option we can choose in 34? Are option A. Archaebacteria that contain protein homologous to eukaryotic core histones. So eukaryotic, it is homologous to eukaryotic core histone. So option A. Here the right answer is option A. Next question number 35. Question number 35. See, bacterial leaf blight or bacterial leaf blight of rice that is caused by a species of. This is a direct question. There is nothing you have to know which organism that causes bacterial leaf blight of rice? That is caused by, here four options are there: Xanthomonas, Pseudomonas, Alternaria, Erwinia. So which is causing bacterial leaf blight of rice? Here the right answer is Xanthomonas. Here the complete name we need to write. Question number 35, Xanthomonas oryzae. That's the right answer. Xanthomonas oryzae. Okay. And what about the other organisms? Pseudomonas. Pseudomonas cane rubianis, that causes red stripe of sugar. Okay. And Alternaria, that causes disease or early blight of potato. Okay, so you have to find out the other options which are causing other diseases. So here itself you can learn 3 to 4 diseases, right? And next question, we are moving to the next question, question number 36. Here question number 36, which one of the following statement about mycoplasma is wrong? First statement, they are also called PPLO. Second one, they are pleomorphic. Option third is they are sensitive to penicillin. And last option, the fourth option, they cause disease in plants. So which one of the following statement about mycoplasma is wrong? So here option C, they are um, sensitive to penicillin. Okay, so here option C is wrong about mycoplasma. They are sensitive to penicillin. That is a wrong answer in this. That is a wrong statement about mycoplasma. And how we can correct this statement? You should learn. If it is wrong, you should correct that statement and learn. See, mycoplasma, that is not at all sensitive to penicillin, because penicillin, which is acting on the cell wall, right? Where this penicillin will act? Penicillin, usually it will work on cell wall. And we know that mycoplasma, that doesn't have a cell wall. Mycoplasma lack cell wall, and mycoplasma that are inhibited by metabolic inhibitors like chloramphenicol and tetracycline. So penicillin won't work out for which one? Mycoplasma, because usually penicillin will act on the cell wall and mycoplasma doesn't have a cell wall. That's the reason. Okay, so they are sensitive to penicillin. No, they are not sensitive to penicillin. Next, question number 37. All the following statement concerning the actinomycetes, filamentous soil bacterium Frankia are correct, except that Frankia, here four statements are there. Frankia can induce root nodules on many plant species, or Frankia can fix nitrogen in the free living state. Frankia cannot fix specialized vesicles in which nitrogen is protected from oxygen by a chemical barrier involving triterpene hapenoids. And fourth option is Frankia, like rhizobium, it is usually infects its host plant through root hair deformation and stimulates cell proliferation in the host cortex. So which statement? Here we can select. See, here we read these four statements, right? So about Frankia, if you are saying the statement B, Frankia can fix nitrogen in the free living state. That is the incorrect statement. And how we can correct the statement here? The incorrect statement can be corrected like Frankia, that is a nitrogen fixing symbiotic bacteria. Okay. Frankia is a nitrogen fixing bacteria and it's a symbiotic bacteria. right? And that induces root nodules like rhizobium. Okay, so like how rhizobium does like that, this also induces root nodules. Okay, and this is associated symbiotically with the root nodules of several non-leguminous plants also. Okay, which are the plants like casuarina, alnus, rubus, etc. And that cannot fix nitrogen in free state. Okay, this is fixing, it is forming root nodules, and in free state that cannot fix nitrogen. Okay, here the statement is it can fix nitrogen in the free living stage. No, it cannot. It is working like rhizobium, how rhizobium is forming root nodules and then it is helping for a nitrogen fixation. In the same way, this is also doing. So it cannot fix nitrogen in the free state. Clear? Next question number 38. Here, barophilic prokaryotes. They have given four options. They grow slowly in highly alkaline frozen um, takes at high altitudes, and option B occur in water which is containing higher concentration of barium hydroxide, and option C grow and multiply in very deep marine sediments, option D readily grown and divides in seawater enriched in any soluble salt of barium. Okay, see, barophilic prokaryotes, they are a type of organism which can grow and exist at high pressure zones. Okay, barophilic prokaryotes. They can grow in which condition? High pressure zones. High pressure zones they can grow, and they are found in very deep marine sediments. They can live in high pressure areas, and they can be found in the deep marine sediments. Okay, so here option C, they grow in and multiply in very deep marine sediments. Okay, so here the right option is option C. Option C is the right answer. Next, question number 39. Here you can see in the five kingdom system of classification, which single kingdom out of the following can include blue-green algae, nitrogen-fixing bacteria, and methanogenic archaebacteria? Which can include? Options are fungi, plantae, protista, monera. And it's very clear that monera is the prokaryotic kingdom. Kingdom monera, that is the prokaryotic kingdom, or in that kingdom prokaryotes are belonging to, and these prokaryotes that include bacteria, blue green algae or cyanobacteria or blue green algae, then the nitrogen fixing bacteria, are there, then methanogenic archaebacteria. So all these are belonging to monera, which is having all prokaryotes. Right. So which is the right answer here? Answer is option D, kingdom monera. Clear? Next question number 40. Organisms which obtain energy by the oxidation of reduced inorganic compounds are called. Here four options are there. homoautotrophs, chemoautotrophs, saprozoic, chemoheterotrophs. So organisms which are obtaining energy by the oxidation of reduced inorganic compounds. Okay, so here answer we can say answer is B, chemoautotrophs. See, the organism which are obtaining energy by the chemical reaction. Chemical reaction. By chemical reaction, they are obtaining energy. Through this, they are getting energy and they are independent of light. Okay. So they are obtaining energy by chemical reaction and independent of this light reaction and making energy. So such kind of organism are called as chemoautotrophs, right? Chemoautotrophs. They are getting energy from the chemical reaction. So this chemoautotrophs, actually the reductants obtained from this environment may be inorganic or organic. Okay, that may be that chemical reaction that may be inorganic or organic, but they are getting the energy from the chemical reaction. So here the answer is B, chemoautotrophs. Organism, they are getting energy by the oxidation of reduced inorganic compounds. That means their chemical reaction is taking place and they are getting energy from that chemical reaction. So they are chemoautotrophs. Okay. Next question, question number 41. Question number 41. Here you can see in bacteria, plasmid is. These are all direct question. Plasmid is, first option is extra chromosomal material. Option B, main DNA. Option C, non-functional DNA. And option D, repetitive gene. In this, plasmid is what? Actually, plasmid is an extra chromosomal material. Right? Plasmid is, what is plasmid? That is extra chromosomal material. In bacteria, plasmid is an extra chromosomal material and that is capable of independent replication. By learning about plasmid, we have learned plasmid is an extra chromosomal material which is present in bacteria and it is capable of replicating independently from the main chromosome. Main chromosome will be there in bacteria, but this is an extra chromosomal material and that is having the capacity to replicate independently. So plasmid, usually they have antibiotic resistant genes, right? And usually they have the antibiotic resistant gene, right? So here the option first, here the first option is matching with this. In bacteria, plasmid is an extra chromosomal material which is having independent replication capability and generally they'll be having antibiotic resistant gene, right? Next question number 42. What is true for archaebacteria? In archaebacteria, first option, all halophiles, all photosynthetic, all fossils, oldest living beings. Which one? Archaebacteria. About archaebacteria, they have given four options. All are halophiles, all are photosynthetic, all fossils, oldest living beings. That is the last options. So here option D. Option D is the right answer. See, archaebacteria, they are able to live or they are able to adjust in extreme environmental conditions, right? So they have, that shows that they are existing from the primitive earth stage itself. They are existing and it is believed that these archaebacteria that represents the early forms of life, right? Archaebacteria are primitive forms, that's why they are able to adjust in the extreme conditions and they are representing the early forms of life. So the archaebacteria are called as oldest living beings. So option D is correct. Archaebacteria are called as oldest living beings. They are the most primitive form and they are able to adjust in extreme environmental conditions. So archaebacteria are called as oldest living being. Clear? Next question, question number 43. What is true for cyanobacteria? Option A, oxygenic with nitrogenase. Option B, oxygenic without nitrogenase. Option C, non-oxygenic with nitrogenase. Option D, non-oxygenic without nitrogenase. Actually, cyanobacteria or blue-green algae, they are also called as blue-green algae, and they are very important group of photosynthetic bacteria in the history of Earth. Okay, or in the history of life on Earth, we can say. And cyanobacteria, we know that here cyanobacteria or blue green algae, they are also called as blue green algae. So here one point we are learning. Then these cyanobacteria, they can fix atmospheric nitrogen, and how they are fixing atmospheric nitrogen with the help of enzyme, which is called as, one enzyme is